Today, on Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut, Astra pulls a Tokyo drift. Falcon 9 once again flies to the skies. And at the end of the episode, I will talk about Firefly and the... okay. Let's talk space stuff. Hello everybody, I am Joe, this is Teenage Astronaut, and welcome to another episode of Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut. I have returned from a long break that due to the summer and also practically inactivity of the industry for stuff I like to talk about. You know, Falcon 9, so Starship, really, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get into some fun stuff today. And like I said, for the beginning of this episode, we're gonna be talking about Astra and the recent launch, or as I call it, Astra's Tokyo Drift. That's what they did. They Tokyo drifted. So this episode's coming out this Saturday. The next episode will be coming out on normal schedule. The next Saturday and Friday, we'll be talking, likely, about whatever happened then. So we'll actually likely be talking about Firefly launching, because that should hopefully happen soon. And also an Electron launch, and what else? Probably a bunch of Starship stuff. I'll probably actually start talking more about Starship then. I've also decided that for my episodes to have kind of a mix of full informationals, like that one I did on space debris, or what happened involving SN4, and also ones like this. I'll probably do it something like that. You know, maybe like, I don't know, I think once a month I'll do a fully informational episode, and then the rest of them will be like this one. How much just like the rock launch happened and pretty much what happened in space that week. So, the next informational one, which will be coming out sometime in September, probably the third week of September, it'll be coming out, and it will be about how much rockets pollute. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say which way to talk about it, I'm just saying how much polluting is rockets, and nothing else. Because I'm still working on it, and I don't want to spoil anything. So, let's get right into this episode. We're talking about Astra and all of the recent events. As you know, all of these videos that I'll be playing will all be linked in the description. If you are on the actual video one, they will not be in the, and also be in the description on the audio one, just to copy and paste it. Now, I'm on the edge of debating if I want to make this be a video podcast specifically, as it's beginning to migrate heavily on that. I'm not going to do that actually, because audio was fun too. So let's get straight into it. So, here's the video. So, this is a 3, 2, 1, engine ignition, and... no. Stop it. Boom. Right there. In fact, I'm going to even slow it down. Right there. How does it do this? Boom. Do you see that? Just in case you didn't, I'll slow it down even more. So watch, and it pulls the engines up and boom, explosion. Right on the right little side there. And then it lifts off, but it has a low thrust to weight ratio. Much lower than normal. And because of that, the Tokyo drift slides to the side. By the way, if you didn't know, this was actually a collaboration between Astra and NASA's spaceflight photo force for launch stream. So that's kind of cool. So it eventually burns off enough fuel to stop going negative meters a second in vertical velocity. And like, it should be quite obvious the flight computer has no fucking clue what the heck's going on, because like, it's still recording at -7 meters a second of velocity, which by the way, it would technically mean you're going down. Like, you don't want that. But yeah, so here it is. Now it's actually finally going up. But it'll make it a couple of minutes into the flight before it fails, and certainly before they cut off the engine. Now, so what happened? It's an easy question, right? What's happened? Well, it definitely had something go on with the engine. Obviously, an engine or a fuel line or something like that. Because an explosion on the right-hand side. And the reason for that, because that explosion, that little debris you'll see much later on, a little bit later on in the flight, was actually a little cover that goes over some wiring and fuel lines and stuff. So likely there was either the engine exploded or the fuel line exploded, but whatever happened, the engine and one of the engines definitely had to shut down due to the event. Maybe the engine had a failure, but it was likely the fuel line that damaged the engine and caused it to have to shut down. And like, it should have hit max Q now, actually, just now, and it didn't, because it wasn't going how fast it was supposed to be. Which, like, by the way this works, you're not going to go the speed you want to go, you're not going to orbit. Like, when it came to this, like, they lost enough velocity that they weren't going to make it to orbit. Like, there was no way. So they ended up, once it was no longer over land and would have fallen into one of the exclusion zones, they cut its engines and aborted the flight. In fact, actually, you should definitely watch it yourself because of the commentary, that's not mine, they actually, you hear them say, flight termination sent, and it immediately starts spinning out. You see a little piece of stuff flopping around, that's where the explosion was. And it's, the other thing that immediately started flopping around and stuff is because, simply, it was only like 50 kilometers, it wasn't even 50 kilometers in the air, it was 40 kilometers when it shut off. It was nowhere near space yet. So there was so much atmosphere that, like, now that there was nothing keeping it pointy end up, it was just flopping all over the place. And, you know, this is legitimately, like, 2 days, like, a day or two after that happened. So, like, it happened not that long ago, you know. It might have happened, like, a day or, yeah, like 2 days ago, maybe. It's like, it's not long ago. We don't exactly know what caused it. Because I'm pretty sure they're still figuring it out, because they only got, like, 2 minutes, 50 seconds of flight data. So, like, they definitely won't be able to know it then. But then when they find out, they will likely, if it's an issue, they'll find out what caused the issue, for sure. And then they'll probably see if it, and they'll probably repair or fix it or whatever on 3.4. And launch 3.4. Because that booster, it's right behind Chris Kemp right here. I definitely recommend you watch the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pause on Chris Kemp. Okay, so they'll definitely recommend going on a space flight and watching it in its entirety. Like, SpaceX is awesome. I love them, as you know. If I didn't, why the heck do I almost use those stuff for everything I do when it comes to launches? Like, seriously, man, myself details. So yeah, this was fun. I did not watch it when it happened. I watched after it happened because I wasn't able to watch it. I know that. I remember why. I didn't know I wasn't able to watch it. So yeah, that was cool, right? So much fun. But yeah, it sucks though because like Astra was hyping it as being, you know, cause like rocket like 3.2 got so close. It was like 500 meters a second away from making orbit. They were so close, and they fixed it for this one by extending the first stage so it go forward and all that other cool stuff, and completely unrelated to Shield Cord. So now they don't even have it any at all. Like, obviously this thing pulled Starship pretty much, right? Because like, seriously, it pulled Starship. Like, come on, it pulled the Starship. Because, you know, one went really good, one didn't go so good, one went really good, one didn't go so good. Alright, you had SN8, which got so close. You had SN9, which didn't go well. SN10 got so close to landing. SN11, no, don't even know what, like, the fog ate it. And then SN15 actually did it. God only knows what'll happen with SN20. S20, ship 20. Meh. Interesting. But yep. That was the Astra launch. So now I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to be the CRS-23 launch. Happened like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. And I also didn't see this one live because I was asleep. It was at like 3:30 in the morning. Because I was on the East Coast at the same time. Like, seriously, it was way too early for that crap. I am a teenager. So, nope, I went to sleep. I gave up. So, yeah, so now on to CRS-23 and the first ever landing on a short fall of gravitas. So, here we are, 19 seconds for flight. Clock's counting down. Falcon 9 is in control. Hey, why are you making sound? Fun fact about this. This is the first Falcon 9 launch that occurred for the first time in like 2 months. I was honestly angry at myself that I missed it, because I tried to set an alarm so I wouldn't. And then that didn't work, because I forgot to put my headphones in. So, I missed it. I was legitimately woke up every morning, and I was freaking angry at myself. Like, I was really, like, I cussed at myself. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was not happy. Really was not happy. But I'm like, I'll watch it now anyway, so I did. I'm gonna watch the SpaceX one. I'm using the SpaceX one, so I don't use another NASA spaceflight one. I'm trying to not rely on them for everything, because, like, if for some reason they stop being able to do stuff, I am doomed. So, lift off. What booster was this? I don't even know what booster this was. But yeah, CRS-23 on its way to the space station. It actually docked with the space station this morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I was at school. Because, by the way, I'm a high schooler now. So, like, fun. In person, too, not virtual. But, yep, let's go into space. So, all is normal, right? Who's back? What? I don't know. Really nice pictures. Something that's launched it that I hope they show. Oh, what? Oh, it went to a cloud, didn't it? So I really hope they show is, this one's first stage did the Falcon Nebula, if you know what that is, where it looks all cool because of the RCS. I don't know what booster this was. Currently approaching max Q. It's max Q. Oop. Also, soon I hope to, soon I hope to do live streams for launches on the YouTube channel for this. Spaced Up by Teenage Astronaut. Link in the description for the, audio. Because if you're watching the video one, you can just click the thing below. Which, by the way, if you're going down there to do it, you should hit the subscribe button and leave the video like so other people can find it. Maybe I can actually expand. So it's doing the thing where it's starting to spread out because the atmosphere is getting low enough. Yeah, this is just another normal Falcon 9 launch, pretty much. It's not a Starlink or another payload, and it's just it's a Dragon with cargo in it. Like, apart from that, it's absolutely nothing new. Because I do hope to sometime soon actually start streaming launches on that channel using the SpaceX feed. So, like, basically my stream for that will start when the SpaceX stream for it starts. By the way, Miko is code, engines have cut out, stage separation, go to the second stage. engine ignites. Super cool thing where like that little strap goes away and then it like gets all cool and slowly goes away. I love that about the Falcon 9. I absolutely love it. And there is the Falcon Nebula. So it's not because of the RCS. By the way, it's currently doing boost backbone, so it can land on ASOG. And it goes dark. I had to. So no, all it's a normal weather. So on this was a bunch of science experiments and stuff. And it's a Falcon 9 launch, so there's not much to talk about. So I'm just gonna kind of skip. To something interesting. Should be the entry born. Which they don't show camera footage of. It's weird. I thought they will. Oh wait, no, they're going to. Okay. Entry born. Just a normal entry born. I think that I watched the recent, I think it was B1049 that failed. I watched that live and like because of it ever since I have constantly watched out for like that really weird stream it had after its entry born. Because like I think me and a good hunk of other people probably have PTSD from that because it's like seriously. Like, it's so used to them landing that it doesn't land, like, eh. By the way, a really good game, if you like video games, for, like, rockets and stuff. It's kind of small, it's not really game that it's SpaceX. It's a SpaceX simulator, straight up. Like, it's got a rocket called Spaceship, it's Starship, and it's got Falcon Heavy, and Falcon 9 Block 5, and Falcon 9 Block 4, and Falcon 1, and that kind of stuff. And also 39A and that kind of things. It's called Orthex. Orthex 2 is making soon. But then we're going to fun game. I've been doing it a lot lately. Oh, here comes the landing. So this landing is a big landing. This is the first ever landing on a short fall of gravitas. Very fuzzy. I think the streaming crew's getting back into the mood. Okay. Wink. Wink. With that, the end of this segment comes. The Falcon 9 landing on a short fall of gravitas. So, next up, we'll look into Firefly and the Alpha vehicle, which will be launching this upcoming week, and I will definitely be covering it much more in detail when that occurs. I will also hopefully next week be covering a Electron launch that happens if they want. For them to do it before the end of August, they literally need to do it tomorrow. Like, it is the end of today, it is the end of August 30th, they have to do it tomorrow. So we'll see if that happens. If it doesn't, do it in September, and I'm still going to cover it because it happened this weekend, and it's Electron, so it is interesting. So, next up, Firefly. What else will you? What else? So, this is Firefly's website. I will have the link to this page I'll be using in the description. So this is what it looks like. By the way, for this portion, if you're listening to the audio, it will still be useful, but to really see it, it's full glory. If you're listening to the audio, that is fine. But I really recommend you check out the YouTube side of it, which will be plastered all over my Anchor page. Because it's a buttload more, like, it's, like, the videos are much better because you can actually see what I am talking about, which is why I decided to start off the YouTube side of this podcast. So, because ultimately I don't just have to script everything. So here we get into it. The amount of payload it can take to low Earth orbit is 1,000 kilograms. That's a good amount. Actually, that's a good amount. For one of these small launchers, it can take 630 kilograms to the sun's synchronous orbit on its performance. So its first stage is 4 Weevil engines. I think Weevil both of the. It's the normal propellant. You probably guess what it is. LOX and RP1. It's propellant fed as turbopumps. It's got 4 combustors. Its thrust levels is 136.1 kilonewtons. Its ISP is 265.6 seconds. Its dimensions on the first stage is 1.8 meters. Its stage 2 its diameter is 1.8 meters. Stage 1, stage 2 diameter is 1.8 meters. Payload fairing diameter is 2 meters. Overall length, it is 29 meters tall. Just under 100 feet. Its stage 2, in fact, its engine is one Lightning engine. One Lightning 1 specifically. Its LOX RP1, propellant feed is turbopump, 1 combustor, 70.1 kilonewtons of thrust, 322 seconds of ISP. Now, this is where the video really comes in handy. Like, seriously, for this part of it, pretty much, go to the video ASAP to see it, because the website does something amazing. There's a little plus sign here on it. You can't see my mouse. Okay, there's a little plus sign here. And what it does is amazing. Like, wow, Firefly. It shows, like, the tanks, the engines, and, like, cool stuff. So, that's what the payload looks like. That orange, like, that tannish stuff is the sound, the acoustic dampening. So on the outside, it's obviously the protection system for the failing. In here, it's got, so over here is now. There's the secondary payload dispensers, the primary payload separation, vibration dampening stuff. It's actually, honestly, really cool. Like, I think it's really cool. This is kind of like where the main payload is where the secondary stuff is. This rocket, it seems like it's a really cool small sat launcher. Its rocket launch is sometime in the next week, obviously. So until September 3rd, it is on checking next space flight. By the way, I don't recommend using next space flight. Holy crap. Michael Baylor did an awesome job. Its flight is on Thursday, September 2nd. It's on September 2nd, Thursday, 2021, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Really good time for me. Like, you have chosen the perfect time, Firefly. I love you now. Like, Firefly is honestly one of my favorite launch providers. Probably only getting beaten out by SpaceX. No, seriously. I just think the rocket's really cool. Like, I love, like, its name, Alpha. And how it's, like, they seem like, I think they have a lot of potential. I don't really watch another website because they have, up here have, like, all of the launching stuff. Seriously, I recommend you use it. So, that, though, I think that's all for this episode. Now, on to the conclusion. Well, that is all for this episode of Space Stuff by Teenage Astronaut. Hope you enjoyed this return to flight episode, literally. The next episode will be coming out on this next Friday and Saturday, as I will be finally going back to my normal schedule, and will also, big thing about it, we'll be showing, hopefully, the first flight of one of my favorite space companies ever, Firefly. We'll see you all then. I'm Joe the Teenage Astronaut, signing off.